Volatile trade on the street with large cap indices remaining under pressure today. Nifty falls below the 22,000 mark and banks lead the decline today. IT as well as metal stocks see some green. Broader market fares better.
Stocks react to cabinet meet announcements. Sugar stocks fall as the government hikes the fair and remunerative price on sugarcane to 340 rupees, while shares of MTA Technologies and Apollo Microsystems gain as the cabinet approves 100% FDI in the space sector.
Grasim launches its paints business under the brand Birla Opus, and the chairman of the company, Kumar Mangalam Birla, says that the paints business will cross the 10,000 crores revenue mark and turn profitable in the third year of operations.
ABB puts on another 7% after a 10% rally yesterday as brokerages give a thumbs up to Q4 earnings. South Indian Bank rises 6% as it announces a rights issue to raise 1,151 crore rupees. Oil marketing company stocks fall as CLSA sounds a note of caution after the recent rally. The brokerage says high refining and marketing margins may not be sustainable.
Hello and welcome. You've tuned into Business Lunch. I'm Nisha Podar, and with me as always is my co-anchor Pavitra Parekh. So Pavitra, the nervousness really in the market continues. And for me, I would say that the biggest data that I will look out for global markets will be the FOMC comments that have been made. So a very, very keen eye on that particular bit. But of course, there are many aspects to watch out for in markets. So let's take a look at that. Nifty 50 giving up on that 22,000 mark at the moment, just about 50 points away from that and almost 0.5% down. Remember, it has tried to recover, but that has been a little slow, I would say. Sensex is losing at the moment over 300 points. Bank Nifty. Now, banking majors have really taken a charge in the weakness. And remember, for the investors, the quasi-investment in an economy is in the banking sector. So that takes the brunt as soon as there is some nervousness. So that's what we are seeing, it seems. But the broader market, that's the area of strength today. And mid-caps are up 0.27% in trade at the moment, and advanced decline ratio in favor of the declines. But that particular gap between advancing and decline is really very narrow, and that's owing to the broader market participation. On my screen at the moment, the top loser is IndusInd Bank in terms of percentage, and BPCL. Remember, there has been a note on OMCs and negative outlook on that. That has impacted the OMC companies, especially PSUs, and Eicher Motor, Hindalco, HCL Tech, ITC are some of the big gainers. Autos doing well today, Pavitra.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, it has been a volatile session today, and I guess to be expected, right? It is the weekly expiry as well. So, maybe it could further exasperate in the last couple of hours as well. I do want to point out that this is happening when the rest of the Asian markets are very strong. So, the Japanese markets are up over 800 points, have been trading with gains of over 500 points ever since the morning. Actually, all Asian markets are well in the green right now. So, even if you look at Shanghai, Taiwan, all of those with very strong gains, in that market, in that context, our market is definitely pulling back a bit. There are a lot of pockets within our markets today where there's a lot of news flow. So, you have Asian Paints, Grasim all reacting to the news flow. You have the entire sugar pack, which is down. So, we're going to talk about all of that. But let's actually kickstart the show by talking about one of the top stories, which is that sugar stocks are seeing some pressure after the cabinet hiked the fair and remunerative price on sugarcane. So, my colleague Vamakshi is joining us with the details and what this could really mean for sugar companies. Vamakshi, this is quite a big hike.
Well, absolutely. When we look at the sugar stocks as well in trade today, they have been under pressure, and this has come after the cabinet has hiked the fair and remunerative price, that is the FRP, from 315 rupees per quintal earlier to 340 rupees per quintal. Now, this FRP will be paid at the sugar recovery rate of 10.25%, and additionally, they've also provided a premium, which means that for each increase of recovery by 0.1%, the farmers will get an additional price of 3.32 rupees. This rise in the FRP is for the sugar season 2024-25, and this will be in effect from October 1st, 2024. Now, our initial assessment was that this may not negatively impact sugar mills that are specifically located in the state of Uttar Pradesh, and that is because the prices in Uttar Pradesh are governed by a separate pricing mechanism called SAP. And in fact, SAP in UP was recently revised already, and this was already factored in the market. Nevertheless, we did expect that this could be sentimentally negative for some of the sugar counters. But interestingly, we were joined by the management of Sri Renuka Sugars. Mr. Atul Chaturvedi said that he does not believe that the FRP hike is negative for the sugar companies. In fact, he is expecting the government to increase the MSP and the purchase price for ethanol. So largely, sugar companies may be unharmed in his opinion. However, he also highlighted that the sugar crop is better than estimates, and in fact he also alluded to the fact that the government could actually relook at the restrictions on the use of cane juice to make ethanol. So largely though, that is the development that has come through for sugar companies, and on the back of that, watch out for all of these counters.
All right. Thanks so much for getting us those details. Let's get the word in from the management as well. Atul Chaturvedi, the executive chairman of Sri Renuka Sugars, to discuss his views on the FRP hike. Let's listen in to what he had to say on this matter.
Contrary to what most of the commentators have been saying, that it is negative for the sugar industry, I would go to the extent of saying that it's not negative for the sugar industry, because the sugar prices in the country had started becoming weak, because contrary to what the initial estimates were that the crop is going to be lower, the crop is turning out to be much bigger. And this announcement by the government will ensure that the price fall in the immediate would not happen. In fact, UP and Maharashtra, there's not much of a price difference, because in Maharashtra and Karnataka, if the recovery is higher than 10.25%, then it is shared between the farmer and the processor, unlike in UP. So effectively, even after taking into account the SAP and all, the price in UP and Maharashtra and Karnataka is actually more or less the same. I see no reason why the government should not permit more, because the initial decision of clamping down on cane juice production and B-heavy diversion for ethanol was largely on the back of that they were expecting a crop of about 29 or 29 and a half or thereabouts. But now we are 100% sure that the crop is going to be 32 million tons plus another 2 million tons of diversion for ethanol. So which means what we are talking is 34 million tons of sucrose. So I see no reason why the government should not allow more ethanol to be made from cane juice or B-heavy, and the decision needs to be right away.
All right, that is the word coming in from Sri Renuka Sugars, and on the latest decision that has come out as well. By the way, like we were mentioning, it is a lot about what's going on within the paint sector right now, and of course Grasim making that announcement that conference is currently on as well. And the key comment that has come through is that they're looking at a 10,000 crore top line in the next 3 years. So 10,000 crore revenue in 3 years, and that's when they also expect to turn profitable. So that is the big news coming in. Grasim slightly off the day's low. Asian Paints also well off the day's low. So we're going to get you more on this, on Grasim getting into this business and what it could really mean for the entire industry. That's coming up in just a bit. But for now, let's focus on a whole host of stocks which are in focus after the Indian government has approved 100% FDI for the space sector in the new policy. So Harmaz is here with all of the details. Harmaz.
Some good news coming in for these defense-related, space-linked defense stocks. And as you highlighted, that the Union Cabinet has approved 100% FDI in the space sector. Now, they have divided the quantum of direct FDI into 3 separate segments, where a specific number would be through the direct route and the rest will come from the approval of the government. Now, the first bit is a 74% FDI under the automatic route, which is for satellites of manufacturing and operations, the satellite data products, and the ground segment and the user segment. segment. Now this segment will have 74% FDI through the direct route, and if at all it goes higher than that, it will have to come via government approval. The next is the 49% FDI under the automatic route. That will be for launch vehicles and associated systems or subsystems and the creation of spaceports. So that is the second segment. And the third one that they have divided is the 100% FDI under the automatic route for manufacturing of components and systems and for subsystems for satellites, ground segment and the user segment. So good news coming in for these defense stocks like MTAR Tech, Midhani. All of them are up and about, gaining between 6 to 7% in today's trading session. Back to you.
All right, thanks Harmas for getting us all those details. With that, we'll slip into a short breather on Business Lunch. More news and updates on the other side. Stay tuned.
Hey guys, welcome back. You're still tuned into Business Lunch. Now, in some relief for troubled EdTech startup Byju's, the Karnataka High Court has ruled that any decision taken on the extraordinary general meeting called for by shareholders on Friday will not be given effect to the up until the next court hearing. So Ritu is here to tell us more about that. Ritu.
Well, Byju's filed a petition in the Karnataka High Court challenging the EGM call by a group of shareholders to remove Baiju Ravindran as the CEO and revamp the board. Now, Byju's in its petition had claimed that certain investors had violated the terms of Articles of Association, the Shareholder Agreement and the Companies Act by calling for this EGM. But the Karnataka High Court has not granted any stay on the EGM. In fact, in its interim order, it has merely said that any decision taken by the shareholders in this EGM will not be given effect to until the next date of hearing at the Karnataka High Court, which is on the 13th of March. Meanwhile, investor sources we spoke to said the EGM will go ahead as planned on Friday, and the court has not declared the EGM as illegal, nor has it granted a stay on the resolutions, which has been sought by Byju's. Remember, we've been reporting that the group of shareholders, which represent about 30% stake in the company, are seeking to remove Baiju Ravindran as the CEO, to reconstitute the board with 9 members, to appoint a forensic auditor to look into various activities, and demanded management clarification and strategy with respect to the various insolvency cases, financial mismanagement, and so on.
All right, thanks Ritu for getting us those important details. So that's tug of war between investor and founder going on at Byju's, and court has taken a very balanced, given a very balanced ruling on this, that the EGM goes ahead, but it can't be in effect till the next court hearing or the court decides. All right, we slip into a short breather on the show. When we return, Grasim, remember, launches its paints business under the brand Birla Opus. We get you all the details on the other side. Stay tuned. Welcome back then, and to the big story of the day. Grasim forays into the paints business and launches the Birla Opus paints brand today. Now, out of the 6 plants in the pipeline, 3 plants in Panipat in Haryana, Ludhiana in Punjab, and also Chair in Tamil Nadu were opened today. Now, chairman of the company, Kumar Mangalam Birla, says that they entered the paints business because of the opportunity in India's infrastructure space, and paint business will cross the revenue of 10,000 crore rupees and will turn profitable in the 3rd year of the operations. Now, they also plan to increase the capacity by 500 million liters per annum over the next 5 years. In fact, let's listen into the excerpts coming in from that address by Kumar Mangalam Birla in Panipat.
This paints venture mirrors India's zest for innovation and its refusal to settle for the status quo. Why paints, you might ask? The answer lies in the bedrock of our booming infrastructure, the construction segment. This sector alone is poised to command 9% of GDP, translating to about $900 billion in just about a decade. The Aditya Birla Group's deep insight into the building materials ecosystem, honed over the years, offers us a unique vantage point. Our journey into the paints industry, therefore, is in many ways a strategic extension, connecting the dots from the foundation to the facade of homes across the nation. We are driven by the vast opportunity presented as India's economy surges towards a $10 trillion milestone. Our vision is ambitious and our initial goal is clear: to clock gross revenues of 10,000 crores and turn profitable not later than the third year of full-scale operations. Despite the option to scale up gradually, Birla Opus chose to establish aggressively pan-India operations from the very outset. We are also prepared to increase our capacity by nearly 500 million litres per annum at our existing locations in the next phase, that too at a significant... Today I am pleased to dedicate to the nation 3 of our plants in Panipat, Ludhiana and Cheyyar. Our 4th plant in Chamarajnagar will start operations as early as Q1 FY25. The 5th plant in Mahad will roll out by Q2 and the Kharagpur plant will be commissioned by Q4 FY25.
All right, that is the word coming in from Kumar Mangalam Birla. They're looking to become a 10,000 crore revenue company in the next 3 years. They're looking at becoming the second largest paint company and will turn profitable in the 3rd year as well. But with that, let's move on and talk about some more news that is coming in. World leaders and business honchos from across the world are all jet setting to Jamnagar for the pre-wedding celebrations of Anant Ambani and Radhika Marchant. Pre-wedding celebrations are set to be held in Jamnagar in early March, while the wedding has been scheduled for the 12th of July. Now, the attendees at the pre-wedding bash include Meta's Mark Zuckerberg, Microsoft founder Bill Gates, Walt Disney CEO Bob Iger, James Murdoch of Lupa Investments, and General Atlantic's Bill Ford. Also in attendance will be BlackRock Chairman and CEO Larry Fink, legendary investors Ray Dalio and Howard Marks, Ajit Jain of Berkshire Hathaway, and Morgan Stanley CEO Ted Pick will also be attending the event. Abu Dhabi National Oil Company CEO Sultan Ahmad Al Jaber and Rothschild's chair Lynn Forrester will also be in attendance at this pre-wedding celebration.
All right, so that's the pictures coming in of the celebration. Let's take stock of the market before we wrap up on Business Lunch, and let's take a look at, in fact, we spoke about Grasim, which is slightly under pressure because of the big announcement coming in. Now, remember, one after the other, there are big announcements coming in from Aditya Birla Group. So this week, they have been very much in news with some big announcements of future plans. So Novelis IPO is another one that we had been tracking. Hindalco is up again in trade today after it went under pressure after the initial uptick. So 1% up on that, and at the moment, 0.4% down on Nifty 50 as well as Sensex, and Bank Nifty is the one which is underperforming with 1% cut. So that's the picture of the market, but we'll have to wrap it on Business Lunch. But Mid-Cap Radar is coming up next, and that will take all the news action forward. Stay tuned for that. Thanks so much.